And just in case someone walks up to you.
Hello, and you're welcome to the Double Seven Show. My name is Omar and I am your host. On the Double Seven Show today, we'll be speaking with the FABUNMIs. Seyi and Gbemi FABUNMI got married on no budget. Let's see how they pulled out of. See you soon. Hello, my name is Omar and you're welcome to the Double Seven Show.
Ọjọ́ ti pẹ́ tí mo ti ń wá ẹni tí màá fẹ́. Àdúrà ti gbà àdúpẹ́. Ìyàwó ti dé mo ṣọpẹ́. I'm in love, kó máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Èmi sílẹ̀kẹ̀ ò ní fẹ́ tẹ́. Ìfẹ́ ìyá bá wa kalẹ̀. God bless the day I set my eyes on you. And everything I do now is for you. And just in case someone walks up to you and ask how long I plan to spend with you, tell them say forever, we'll always be together.
Okay guys, you're welcome back to the Double Seven Show. With me today is a dynamic, very, very industrious cinematographer and video, everything, movies, everything, and his beautiful wife, a lawyer by profession. Don't mind me, I have to hype ourselves. I have to hype us. We have to hype ourselves. I'm talking about no other person than Seyi and Gbemi FABUNMI. Seyi and Gbemi Sola FABUNMI. Seyi and Gbemi Sola FABUNMI. Welcome, Seyi and Gbemi Sola, Mr. and Mrs. FABUNMI.
Thank you so much for having us.
How are we?
We are good.
Okay. Top of my mind, first thing I always ask people to do when they come to the show is to look at your husband and one of your favorite, I'm sure you didn't fight before you got here because when you looked at him, I just busted into laughter. I was like, who this guy? Okay, so you're going to look at your husband and one of your favorite attributes of him, you're going to say to him in a poetry form, like you're going to psych him, hype him, you know.
I don't know. You hype me.
So, are you supposed to do that now?
Yes.
Okay. FABUNMIs. That's right. That's all. FABUNMIs.
That's how you hype him.
Yeah.
That's your favorite attribute of him.
That's my favorite. Yes.
Ogo?
Yes, you can say FABUNMIs. That's right.
Okay. Seyi, in turn, you're going to look at your wife and you're going to sing her a song.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a love song that you know, it may be a self-composed song, whatever it is, just do it, you know.
Olómi, onítèmi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, olólùfẹ́.
Why this now?
Ojúkọ ò ṣàlàdání, lọ́lá Olúwa, kò sóhun tí ó yà wá.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Seyi, I know that you are in a, well, from your story, you said you never took an employment anywhere. You never worked for anybody.
Yeah.
And you got married to this beautiful lawyer on a budget of, I don't know, no monthly income, no regular, well, there was regular income, but there was no, you know, that flow of a salary and all that. Please tell us about that and how it was for you guys marrying on no budget.
So, thank you for that question. Basically, it was more of a very straightforward thing to do. I remember when we started planning for the marriage, I think I just launched into filmmaking that time, and it was pretty difficult, not like the way it is right now, where cameras are available, everything are available. Back then, the stores were almost like as if we are going to go and buy a house. I think that's the most difficult thing now. It's like going to buy a house if you want to get a camera. So you almost have to save the money, then try and keep trying. So when I approached her that I was going to get married to her, I think I didn't even toast. It wasn't like toasting. I just went straight to her and I told her I want to be the mother of my children. That's all.
You want to be the mother of my children?
I want you to be the mother of my children.
That's how I toasted you.
That was it.
You're joking.
Said it.
And I ran away. Not expecting that there would be an answer, because I actually didn't know there was going to be an answer.
Why? Because she's a lawyer?
No, basically because Well,
Actually, we're in school when you
yeah.
Oh, final year.
So
It's final year.
final year, yeah. So it wasn't like as if I was.
Was
So
it
in my
not
mind, it was not
final
final
year?
year. I think it was.
Our third year.
Yeah, no, fourth year.
Fourth year.
Yeah. So I had one more year to. But I already knew from school. I keep telling you, I already knew from school I wasn't going to work with anybody. I already knew from 300 level that I was going to focus on filmmaking as the core. So it was clear to me because back then I was in fellowship, Lagos Varsity Christian in LBCU. I was the organizing secretary, and as at 300 level, I saw my GP, and I felt if at 300 level, my GP was not on 2-1. I felt that it was impossible for me as a chemical engineering student to get job, to compete out there with my friends. So the idea for me basically was, what can I do therefore? Because I felt if they were going to employ people, they were going to first of all ask either you are first class or 2-1 before they now come to 2-2. So which means by the time they call first class 2-1, 2-2 might not have a chance to even get of the employment. So I started thinking of other things to do. So that's how someone in the fellowship named Shola Oshonde, was a senior colleague in the fellowship, came. He had a small camcorder and a desktop, and I started interning and started learning under him. That man presently today does not practice anything near video at all.
Film. Wow.
So basically, when we got married, it wasn't like as if I was already earning money, but it wasn't just big.
Okay.
I was
By
already,
the time we got married,
yeah.
he was already doing well with you.
Yes, with my, I've already started earning money. That's how I was telling you the story about how it started.
Okay.
Even though people looked at funeral video then as people were paying.
Exactly.
And at that time, they were paying like 100, 120, 150, and then to execute, you probably would have spent maybe 50 or 60. So I already had some change. So I already had money going, like small cash that I could easily just let loose of. I remember at that time I just got a 4-bedroom apartment.
You got a 4-bedroom apartment?
Yes. And I moved into it with only bed and cup. The only thing I took was a bed and a cup.
Interesting.
Like this. And that's how I entered
Let's
this
come
place.
to you, Gbemi. What did you see? Because some people are not just the people. Sometimes the ladies are in love. But the society we live in, particularly our parents, traditional parents, they look at you and say, this guy doesn't have a job. Why? So I'm asking you, what did you see, number one? And what gave you the confidence? And how did you overcome the pressure from the society to go on with the marriage?
What did I see? Okay. I
See,
think
fine boy now.
asking me what did I see? Okay, maybe you ask me about my conviction, but let me just start this way. When we were in school, Seyi FABUNMIs then was the kind of person that, okay, you would see and then you would say, no, this can never be my man. He was not the rich guy. In fact, that sometimes he would come to fellowship with torn clothes. Hope I'm allowed to say that. Torn clothes, not always well dressed.
Exactly.
It was not it at all. It was not someone that maybe a young
I
girl
was
today
on the
would say it was that you would say and would say, okay, I really want to go with this person. But I cannot really say what I saw, but I think there was just a connection. Then I prayed about it. Fellowship sisters, then you need to spiritually consider everything. So even after I got the conviction to go ahead, I didn't like it because
Was it that there were, apart from his looks and his rags, I'm sorry, but was it that there were other guys who also equally the people that looked the part? Was it that there were other people? Is that right?
No. I think basically for me, apart from the conviction, the connection, that would have been enough to make me go ahead. But I was not just comfortable with the looks and everything, with the packaging. Imagine me, I would have to introduce him to friends. And I remember the first time I brought him home to that, I invited him to our house. He was wearing one buba, something like this. And I was like, oh my God, why would this guy dress like this? But I still, one way or the other, I still knew that I should go with him. There were times I decided to back out. And then I met with somebody that told me a similar story that basically I feel the Spirit of God is telling me to go on with the relationship.
Interesting. And now this is how many years after?
6
years after.
6 years in
Guys,
December.
if you see their children, no, Seyi is not fine. I'm sorry, you said Seyi is fine, but if you see their children, smart, I said the boy is fresh like Oyinbo like this, All right, and then so let's talk about something else. You've gotten married. you scaled the hurdle of expense at marriage and all that. You have this 4-bedroom flat. So how did you go about filling the house? You know how they say that by wisdom a house is built, by understanding and by knowledge is made, is you fill the house. How did you go about filling the house in this?
When I moved into the 4-bedroom apartment, it was empty. The only thing I moved in was I bought a bed, just a bed and a cup. Basically because I knew I was going to probably be drinking gari and then I would need to sleep. So that was the basic idea. And then God gave me a word. Like, one thing about me is the fact that I don't joke with God's word. And I keep saying every single day, I've not finished reading the entire Bible from beginning to the end. But one thing I know is, if the word of God, if it's just a verse that I get from that word, I stay on that word till it delivers. That word, I believe, does not have any expiring dates. So the word then was, can you remember the word?
It doesn't have
A house is going to be fully furnished, thoroughly furnished, made ready, made available for you. That was the word. And then when I got to the place, it was empty, but there was a rug in the room. So I took it that, okay, the rug was God's provision for me. And then the furnishing of the house, God will make that available. So what happened is, one of my older sister, the husband decided they gave him promotion in his own office, and he was to leave where he was, Lagos to Calabar. But he could not move, because if you go to his space, he was well furnished, thoroughly furnished. So he could not move some of those things that he had, a lot of them with him. So he wanted to dispose of them. So he told me to just come and carry them and then put it in our house, and then we'll talk about. But because something the Bible says about, I think, was it Abraham or Moses that said, so that nobody will come and say that you made Abraham rich. Let's have an agreement on this. So when he said, we went with, I remember the day I said I was going to enter into the house. Landlord and the people that were there were asking me that, where are my load? And I'm like, they are coming, the loads are coming. And there was no load, like, as in literally, because the only thing I brought was just the bed and the big cup that I was using to soak my gari, because I would eat outside. So everybody was just wondering that, why would somebody just come? And I was sleeping in the big sitting room, very big, very large. Like, that sitting room is like somebody's 2-bedroom. So I was just sleeping. I would just sleep, open the window, and then I would sleep on the bed. So when they called, we packed fridge, chairs, bed, washing machine, generator, everything you could need to furnish the house. Curtains, gas cooker.
You're joking.
We packed everything, plates, pots, everything. So when they brought it in by an arrangement, I think we're supposed to pay for everything, and the price then was like about, is it 150 or 200,000
for everything?
For everything.
150,000
for everything. Because God made it available. It was basically like the money that was my account. I was just sitting down, and I handed it over to the guy, and I said, "This is the money for everything I have given us." And they went to go and start over. So that's how I filled my house.
Sorry, let me just pause and tell guys. This thing that he's saying, I've witnessed it firsthand. And to many men, you're ready, you are waiting, but you keep postponing your day of joy. Because you think that there must be millions and there must be. Just have, number one, as you said, a word that cannot expire in its words.
It can't expire.
Number two, the minimum required confidence to just push. The provisions you have, you'll be shocked, will be enough for what you need when the time comes. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for sharing that. I actually didn't know that part of the story.
Nobody knows except us.
Actually, so this is the first time I'm telling anybody.
Yeah, I think we share with some people, but not on a very big platform like that.
Thank you. Also, my platform is big. All right, don't mind it. Okay, so another thing about the house. I'm sorry I'm doing all this house thing. Let's talk about functionalities in the house. Roles of husband, roles of the wife. How have you guys managed to, distribute and apportion roles in a way that your marriage life is sweet?
I think my wife should answer that because she's better off in that space.
Okay. For Seyi and I can keep it to you now. We don't have this picture of husband and wife thing. Even till now. Seriously, when people talk when people talk about husband and wife, for myself and Seyi, we have not really, we don't do that traditional, or we have never seen ourselves that way. We see ourselves as friends right from time. Thank God we were friends for about 6 years.
6 years.
Before you even
we
got married. So 6 for 6,
yes.
you've known each other for a dozen
Yes.
years.
So for us, we have not really seen ourselves in this role of this is what husband should do, this is what a wife should do. When it comes to cooking, he cooks well.
Oh, really?
So if he feels like
when I
cooking,
came to your house, you didn't cook for me.
Because I didn't feel like.
so if he feels like cooking, he cooks. Talking about washing, when we got married, I do not do washing. In fact, we never use the washing machine because my husband prefers dry cleaning. So apart from my own wears that I wash, I never started washing until after we gave birth to this. Okay, so he prefers dry cleaning. So all these roles of this is what a man should do, this is what, I don't think it works in our own house.
We are unconventional. What we do is basically what works for us. We don't follow any laid down rules. My wife is not in my home to become a workaholic. My wife is in my home to make me happy. Priority is myself and the children. Once the two of us are happy, the children are happy, I'm happy, then the home is good. I don't major on the manual. I don't see those things.
What are the majors?
So the
in
major
marriage?
things in the marriage are, number one, peace that you create in the house. The peace in the home is the most important. Whether she cooks for you or she doesn't cook for you, there's no peace. You will fight, you will scatter, everybody will go their way. If you can create an environment of peace, every other thing will follow. And it is very, very important that people understand that. That's why the Bible even says that as much as it lies within you, try to live at peace with every man. There was one thing that we learned when we were talking with my friend in one of my marriages. He said, a happy man is a generous man. If you are happy at home, either as a man or as a woman, it is easy for you to be free to do every other thing you want to do. And that's what we try to create in our home, which is let there be peace.
And you are a generous man. At least I know. Sorry, both of you are generous people. At least I know that for sure.
So it is basically the major things. The second major thing is understanding each other's temperament.
Interesting. What's that temperament?
My wife is more like, say you say melancholy or what do you call it? Phlegmatic. I don't know the English language. I don't know what it means. But for me, it says I'm sanguine in nature.
Yes, you are very sanguine.
And can be choleric.
Sanguine and choleric.
I don't
keep extroverted. You're introverted.
So the idea is basically be that way you can manage and relate with each other on a very wonderful basis. Sure. So when she's on the high end, I know that, oh, this is the time not to touch. This time not to, because you can see it already. That, but when I'm on the other side, she knows that, this guy is not in the mood for all this. So
peace,
number one.
Understanding each other's temperament.
Then number three, respecting each other. People, I don't know where this whole idea has come from, but we just treat each other like as though this person does not even deserve your respect. As in, treat them the way you treat yourself. Like,
something
valuable to you. My wife is very precious and valuable to me. People that are close to me, they know.
I know.
You don't go. As in, there's something that's called no-go area. I can be playful, but when it comes to the issue of my family, my wife, I am very, very deadly and dangerous in that area. Don't go there. Those three things are what I have actually implemented in my family, and it's working.
Awesome. The next thing I'd like to ask you is, what is Seyi's phobia? Something that he sees he can cringe. And what is your wife's phobia?
Seyi's phobia is to see you sick.
Sick? He doesn't like it.
It does not like it. It does not like to be sick. It does not like to see anyone sick. If I should fall sick now, my husband may run out of the house. You would expect him to. But it would not just be himself. He would be so unorganized, so unhappy. He does not like to see anyone sick. Or even for the children, he would see immediately. Why not take him immediately, no matter how much it would cost. So he is usually not himself when he sees someone sick or when the health is not in place.
What's your wife's phobia?
What's my wife phobia?
Some people hate cockroaches. Some people, as in,
My wife's phobia, I can't really pick because
I don't even know my
I
favorite.
don't think the only thing I just know is that yeah, sometimes she might be a little afraid of going the extra, like as in going the extra mile or doing something that she has not tried before. But like as in
okay.
phobia,
Fear
you
to
know,
venture.
no, yeah,
Like
basically. But you have to. One thing I just try to do is that most times I start some stuff. When I start it, then I push her in, and then she catches up. But that's initial stage of starting it yourself. She might just be like, no, I don't want to do. I don't want to do. I
She's
don't want
like
to do.
inertia. Everything rises in its place of rest,
Rest
moving in
until
one line
something
until the external force comes to push
pushes.
it.
So when you push her, then she now start running. Then even you can now go back to the initial stage
Okay.
because she can now begin to fly. So that's what. So she always like that pull to help her start stuff. That's but in terms of because once she gets it right, forget it. You can even drop it and go and sleep.
Who is the spender? Who is the saver?
I save. It spends.
But it's normal now. Every man spends.
He says number.
Every man spends his normal now. Because that's
Who is the area scatter? Who is OCD? Area scatter is a person that nothing can be organized. In other words, if he takes this cup from here or if she takes this cup from here, the next place we can find it is in the toilet. That's in the extreme, of course. And then the OCD person is that, why did you know it was 90 degrees? It must be 90 degrees. That's, who is that?
I'll
That
leave
can-
you to answer that question.
how do you want to leave me
now?
to answer?
See,
Okay, my wife is the OCD. I'm the one that is the arranger.
no,
Yeah,
that's not.
Nice one. Jump up the chat.
You said I should answer. I've answered. What do you expect?
That's
Nice one.
That's next question. Next
Give him a
question.
blank check. He will, of course, write $1 million.
Yeah.
for both of us, I think we cannot just we both arrange and we both scatter. For example, for me now, I can arrange my wardrobe like 5 times in a week. So that
5
is
times in a day. Not a
so
week.
that is I can bring it down and then arrange it, especially when I'm looking for something. So I don't mind scattering everywhere. Then my husband would say, so why did you scatter it now? But I would definitely fix it. So that's it. And then for him too, I think it's more the area scatter. What did you call it?
Yeah.
More than, and then I put things together more.
Okay. Seyi, your wife's favorite, not favorite, your wife's size of clothes, size of shoes.
637.
What's 6? What's 37?
Clothes.
His clothes is size 6 now.
Size 6. After 2 children.
I'm sorry. I actually
Wish.
I wish, yes.
No, really, but
I
are
wish
you
I can be
complaining?
8 or 10.
I don't.
I'm not
You
complaining,
like
I'm
it like that.
complaining.
She's the one that is complaining. And I'm praying behind that it doesn't go higher.
What's your husband's size?
She can't know. Because I sew most times, I don't buy clothes. Most times.
Oh.
Yes, I do ready to wear. That's why. So I just call my
But
tailor.
shoes,
But shoes,
42.
42, yeah.
42. Next question. If Seyi or if either of you was to be left, you're talking for Seyi and Seyi is talking for you. If Seyi was to be left on an island, what do you think Seyi cannot do without on the island? And if she was left on an island, what do you think she can't do without?
Go first while I think about mine.
No, you are answering for me.
Yes, I'm answering. While I think about
Phlegmatics is it's typical. You have to, she's in a state of rest until the next half or so. So you first talk your own.
Okay, one thing I think, if you leave my wife, if she's married though, if maybe when she was single, it was basically family matters. She always think about everybody. She's this kind of person that always wants everybody to be happy, wants everybody to, so she's waking up in the morning, she's thinking about what would this would, she's going to bed at night, she's thinking about the next day. So she's packed herself up
In the
some
family.
part. Yeah, so sometimes I just like, must you think about everybody? Because you can't just think about your own self.
And
Because
so now she's in an island. What will she do?
what will she do?
Or what can she do without?
What can she do without his family?
That means you really died. No, I
I don't think she can stay away for too long without having at least some sort of family around.
Does that mean that your house is a family house?
yes,
Wow. Interesting. So what can she do without?
sincerely, I can't really say. What is it you can't do without?
Food,
I don't
sex, money.
Nothing.
No matter. So let's
I
talk
don't
about
think
sex.
about anything.
Since you can
There's
do
nothing
without-
like I can't. I told you now. One bed, one cup. I'm fine.
You're jebby. Sorry. Anyways, let's talk about sex now. How do I want to ask this question now? Because when I said what can't you do without food, sex, you said nothing. So can you do without sex?
I didn't have sex until I got married to my wife, and I was almost 27 or 28, so I could do without it. I kept telling myself,
Interesting. So you guys got married. As,
yeah. As a
let's
virgin.
talk about that now. So when you now got married as virgins, how did you now? Did the spirit come and teach you how to?
No. The spirit did not come and teach us. We had a mentor.
Great.
So when we got married, we had Mr. Daddy Oshewa. He's a very strong marriage counselor in the Foursquare.
Okay.
So while we were in, we met him while we were in Lagos Baptist Christian Union.
Okay.
And then we went to adopt him. We went from Aquaka back then. This was relationship studio, and we went to look for him in Songwater.
Wow.
We left school, I think it was on a Saturday or so, and then we traveled down to go and look for him. The man is the owner of Ambassador College, tries area in Ogun State. Yeah, so we went to go and look for him, and then we discussed with him that, oh, sir, this and this
So
and this.
you
and this.
knew about him before?
Yes.
Yes. He came for a program in school at
On
obviously,
relationships
on relationship.
too.
So when he finished speaking,
Okay. Before you go on, I just need to ask, what is the importance of having a mentor in relationship and marriage? Do you still have mentors now?
yes, we do.
What's
We have
important?
so the first thing, like, so then when we were in relationship, Daddy Oshewa was our mentor. Now that we're in marriage, it's no longer Daddy Oshewa. He's another family that is our mentor right now in marriage. What's Uncle Me Akpan?
Okay.
Uncle Me Akpan is our mentor right now in the marriage
Okay,
stage.
Makman, we'll invite you.
So he's our mentor right now in terms of marriage, because at every stage the challenges are different.
True.
And one of the things that our first mentor, which is Daddy Oshewa, helped us very well, was he had a lot of experience handling people who are virgins and who just want to get married.
Get back to the virginity story.
Then she had to call the man and said, sir, we're getting married though. This and this. And the man was like, what?
He was so happy.
He was like, you're getting married? Where is uncle? So we drove
Who's
again.
uncle? You.
I'm uncle now. We drove again to go and meet him at his place also in Songwater, where he now dished out the instruction of what we're supposed to do. In fact, he promised my wife money.
Must
For-
be serious.
Say it.
So he told my wife, I said, because there were experiences of people who, even after they got married as virgins, they've never enjoyed sex. Like, as in, the trauma of it never helped them to enjoy it.
He said that most couples, especially those who are virgins, that they hardly get defiled
Yeah.
that night for the
Okay.
woman because of the pain.
Okay.
That so some people it takes them a week, some a month
Some
before
years.
before the woman can actually get deflowered. So
Okay.
he now promised me 20,000
20,000
naira
naira.
if I allow him
If I allow,
deflower.
if she allows me to fly that night of the wedding,
Did it happen?
it happened though.
20K.
My wife, when my mother hear money, every other thing can go. Forget it.
Now, why now?
No, I'm not saying it now. It's normal. So it was. So that was why I said, and also I have also taken it upon myself to tell everyone, and that's why I keep telling everybody: don't this noise about the fact that almost every ladies are gone, almost every lady are already deflowered. It's a lie. Oh. I know
And
within my
almost every
circle
man is
sleeper out.
is a dog.
I know within my
The
circle.
lie. Men are not dogs. Please.
I
I married as a virgin too.
I,
My wife was a virgin as well.
I have close to 10 people that have gotten married within my sphere,
In my circle, same thing.
and they are
All
all
guys,
both
virgins,
girl-
husband and wife,
yeah.
virgins.
So don't. They are just 5% of the entire 100% that are actually like that. And because they are in high positions, they have media influence, so they keep touching this church around, making you young one feel like as though virginity is no longer anything.
Yes.
It is a lot, and it's expected.
I should clap for you on that. Thank you for saying that. So yes, on this issue.
So when the man gave us the information, he made it clear. And as I said, see, if you are getting married as a virgin, go and look for families like us, or like people that you know who actually had that experience. Because they said, see, your wife may not enjoy sex after this until 6 years.
Wow. Let's talk about the enjoyment of sex. My brother.
And it was real.
You're joking.
Yes, it was real.
She wasn't enjoying it.
She wasn't.
So on how
No,
it changed.
I think what he was trying to say then is that there is this thing. Maybe
You should
it's
manage your expectations.
Yes, manage it. So there's this thing that like it's overrated, like sex is something that you would just enjoy, and so he said no, it's usually not like that, especially for virgins. Now, in the sense that the pain will still be there, the pain would not go after that night. The pain will still be there. It could last 1 week, it could last 2 weeks, it could last 1 month. If you give your husband access almost every time, the pain would go easily. But if you don't, if you are still kind of keeping to yourself, like, oh, it's painful, I don't want to have it tonight, then the pain will take longer before you can actually adjust. And then talking about managing your expectations, you would think that. So I remembered one time during our honeymoon, my husband was like, so what's this thing about this sex?
I'm
Because
telling you.
it's just like you just
You
go
come in, pour, and
come
then you're
out,
done.
and there's really no.
So tell us about the pleasure part. At least now you're enjoying it.
So now we are finding out that sex is more enjoyable than the way it was before. And we are exploring different options, right?
Options.
Yes,
Like
Styles.
positions.
different styles. Yes, exactly.
What's your favorite style?
Different style, different options.
It's between us.
And it's actually much more interesting to note that something that in the past maybe 2 or 3 years we didn't even think about it, because for us then it was basically about procreation at the start, and then immediately we decided that okay, we are fine. Then we started asking ourselves.
Let's
Sometimes we
add
just
fun
yeah
to
we
this
just add fun to it, and I feel if everyone can take it like that in terms of going it in this step by step order, I think you will not have problem. You will not. But most times, like I said, if you don't create a peaceful environment, some of these things might not be
Yes.
happening.
Don't be able to
Sure.
achieve.
Sure. So my final question is, so how do you manage attraction from opposite sex? I'm sure that there are some people that you are probably attracted to now, and you in your filmmaking world, where they can even come and give you self, they will bring it to you by themselves. How do you? Maybe I should ask the question. Then I will now ask you, how do you help him to manage the attraction he has, or that when you notice that ladies are, for him, how do you do that? So yeah.
So basically for me, like I keep telling everyone, one thing that has helped me the most is knowing who I am in Christ. Like I just know that there are some boundaries I cannot cross.
Sure.
Like I know that no matter how much I get close to you as a lady, there are some boundaries I cannot cross. I can't. It's not me. Because there are times that we almost make mistakes. And that's where you have a partner that God will help you to point out some of the things. Because like you said, I'm very playful and I'm very open at work. So which means sometimes my good
Maybe
sometimes
misconstrued.
yeah. So and that's why in my house, like for my phone, my wife has full access to my phone.
Awesome.
My password, she knows. I know. Until sometime, I started telling her that you know my own password. I don't know your own password. What's the
Is
meaning
it
of
lie?
that? She now has to tell me her password. Like as in when she reads my WhatsApp message, she sees you like this particular thing you're telling this lady can turn her to this way. She can start thinking this way. She can start looking in this direction, and then I just because we are humans, right?
Sure.
There's no way. The Bible did not say see a naked lady organ and then pray for her. It said what? Japa.
Run.
So if you know that there are avenues for people to begin to do that kind of thing, then you cut them. So once I notice that you're a lady and you're going in that route, I just block you. It's very simple. I just block you.
Sure. Interesting. So, ma'am, have you been attracted to another guy, 6 packs,
Okay, if you ask me in 6 years, no.
in 6 years of marriage?
I've never been attracted to anyone.
I find I don't package. It's in the talk.
If you ask me no, then how do I help my husband?
Yeah.
There's this thing I tell people, that especially ladies, that you cannot really protect a man or keep a man from falling. The only thing that keeps a man from falling, to the best of my own knowledge, is the fear of God. So once that is there, then you can leave your husband. to go anywhere and then you'll be comfortable.
And it goes everywhere.
It goes everywhere.
North today, Calabar
1
tomorrow.
month,
Sorry,
especially
Calabar.
when,
Sorry,
especially
Calabar.
when we got married. For the first 1 year or 1.5 years when we got married, my husband wasn't staying at home.
But that's not what the Bible said now. The Bible said when you get married, you don't work for 1 year.
I've not read that part, that's why.
You know that.
So it was always going out. Then most times it relates more with ladies.
Yeah.
His mama relates more with ladies, and then they're always there all over him. So, but for me, I pray for my husband daily that he would not fall into errors. So I advise young women that instead of reading his charts or running about him and trying to
Monitor his life.
protect him or monitor his life, why not just pray? So what I do most is that I pray for him. Whenever he's out there working, I pray for him that God please help him so that he would not fall into errors. Then number 2, we discuss a lot. We talk about, myself and my husband can be in the car and then a lady is walking by, fully exposing her breast, and we are there talking and laughing and gisting about this thing. So I'm not the type that would say, so why are you looking at her? Of course, you would look, even for me.
Even you too. Yes, look, how will you know somebody is looking if you do not look?
So for me, all these things of why are you looking at her, why are you doing this, why? So we talk about all these things a lot. My husband, so it does not. So one thing that can really help is that don't keep secret. So even if you are having challenges with ladies outside, come home, say it. If truly you don't want to fall into those errors.
And when we finish talking about it, she will now come out and tell you this and this is what you have supposed to have done in this situation. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. Oh, I didn't see it from that angle. I was actually looking at it from, he said no. But the one I keep telling her that got me the most is because I keep telling her, and this is why I listen to her. Like, as a man, I know man, as in, I am a man, so I understand myself very well.
Sure.
But as a woman, she understands the woman's psychology. So she understands. So most times I listen to her on the woman's psychology because I know so much that this is how most women will have reasoned it.
Thank you guys so much for being on the 77 show. I see that you guys, you're a very secure couple in yourself. You are not following the Joneses or the Hillarys or the Clintons or the Trumps. You are just the FABUNMIs. And in that same spirit, please kindly kiss on camera and we'll go on. Ashiri.
What choice we want? Is it normal or
French?
Okay, say you want French. Come here, if you don't know.
And just in case someone walks up to you and asks how long.
And on that note, I would like to thank you for being there this long with the FABUNMIs. I'm sure you've had a good time. Please, their story has a lot of lessons that you can learn. Please do make sure you domesticate whatever it is you're hearing out there as they are domesticated, and you'll be very, very fine in your marriage. Please do not forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share everything you're seeing on this page. And please do make sure you follow our social media handles. Thank you guys. God bless you. Until next time. Bye-bye.
And ask how long I plan to spend with you. Tell them say forever, we'll always be together. Stick through everywhere.